So there's the Penrith side for their match against the New Zealand champion 7's team. Wainuiomata, Cartwright, Ben Alexander and his brother Greg in the lineup. Brad Fittler, a couple of new faces in the side. Graham Lyons has joined the Panthers from South Sydney, and Brett Boyd joins up with Penrith from the Canberra Raiders. The New Zealand side, no rugby league experience, but of course plenty of 7's. In fact, all of them have played 3 years of 7's football, and that's their team that will be going on against the Winfield Cup champions of 1991. So Penrith gets us going, and it's gone over the dead ball line. Greg McCallum, the man in charge of this second match. So the defending premiers in 92, Penrith, up against the New Zealand 7's champions, Wainuiomata. And the New Zealand side on the attack. They're just 10 metres away from the Penrith line at the moment. It's with Davis. Away for Maxwell. And a chance here for them. Davis works to the right. Just a little bit of hesitation in their attack from Party. But there's a try on Maxwell. Maxwell gets first try for the New Zealand 7's champions.
Yeah, New Zealand able to keep the ball alive there very well. We see the play the ball only 5 metres out. Play came back to the blind side. An easy pass on the inside. And New Zealand player found Maxwell doubling around. The big man has gone over. A very poor conversion attempt, but a great start for the New Zealand side. 4 points to 0.
So 1.5 minutes gone in the match between Penrith and the New Zealand side, and 4 points to 0 in favour of the Wainuiomata side.
Had a very lethargic start there by Penrith. Ray, they allowed the kick-off to go dead, and that is a cardinal sin in our game. I can't believe the reigning Winfield Cup champions would allow that to happen.
Barry Walker to play it now. This is Brad Fittler, wrapped up inside the 32-metre line. Greg Alexander switching the point of the attack right to left. Cartwright stands, tries to offload. Fittler. Mackay now. Chances to kick ahead. Might get the regather. No, the bounce beats him. The New Zealanders come up with possession about 5 metres out from their line. Alexander looking for work in the early part of this game, but there's a bit of work to be done. Mefau. Umaga. Maxwell again.
Yeah, poor play the ball left from the New Zealand side. You can't afford to do that inside your own territory, and the Penrith side certainly capable of making them pay for such a simple mistake.
So the first scrum of this match, 3-man scrum. Alexander to work it. Brad Fittler. Graham Mackay. Chance here for Penrith. This is Lyons. He's put it down.
Well, some very simple mistakes early on in this game. Graham Lyons in the new colours, the Penrith side, ex-South Sydney player, of course. First tackle, spilt the ball 10 metres out, and that's a great blow to the Penrith side early on, as New Zealand looked to work the ball away with a 4 points to 0 lead.
The New Zealand side now working it out from inside their own territory, and Davis throws a reckless pass back, picked up by Umaga. Graham Lyons, an interesting player for the Penrith side. High hopes held by Phil Gould. Barton. Well, he was called on to play the ball, and referee Greg McCallum gives a penalty to Penrith.
Yeah, pretty ordinary start by both teams here. A couple of penalties early on, some bad mistakes, and really it's been an ordinary start from the Penrith side. I know that great expectations after the great performance in the Winfield Cup last year. I think they need to settle down, just work the ball in, and with the players that they've got, they should be able to run in some points against this New Zealand side.
So a great opportunity here for Penrith to at least level up the score. Carter now. 9 metres out from the line. Boyd from Canberra to Penrith this year. Cartwright. They run the angles. Fittler now. Now it's with Greg Alexander. Comes back and around. Now it's Walker. Chance here for Penrith. Out to Lyons. He sees the gap. He goes back inside. Makes the kick easier for his conversion attempt. 4 points all.
Well, they certainly made hard work of it. We saw about 5-6 passes there with players not going forward at all. Eventually they were able to move this New Zealand side around. A good ball there from Walker. I thought Lyons would score on the outside, but he stepped. 2 or 3 players came back in, and as it's turned out, a much easier attempt, as Ray Warren alluded to. Penrith, a great opportunity to go 6 points to 4 in front as Alexander lines up.
Greg Alexander takes the conversion, and he gets it. So Penrith lead now over the New Zealanders by 6 points to 4. And about 1 minute and 45 seconds of the first half remaining. The Penrith coach, Bill Gould.
Yeah, some particular interest this game, of course, for the Parramatta side. This is the pool that Peter Sterling and the Parramatta side will be involved. I hope that they have a draw and really belt each other and have to play all night, but it doesn't look as though that will be the case.
Peter Sterling again extending the sympathies of a professional rugby league footballer. So Mifau now to play the ball, 10 metres into Penrith's area. Away for Party. (6-4) in favour of Penrith. Yogi putting it down. Chance for Penrith to come up with possession. But McCallum is going to play the knock-on.
Yes, and that's the problem for the New Zealand side. They've got themselves into good positions, but a simple pass has gone down or a bad mistake has been made, and it's really taken all the momentum out of their attacking.
Again, it's a Penrith feed for Greg Alexander. And he decides to run the blind side. He knew he had the numbers, but the pass was forward to Lyons. Recalled by McCallum. Another scrum to go down almost on halfway.
Yeah, poor play there from Graham Lyons. Alexander took the ball away the blind side of the scrum, and really it was up to Lyons to stay onside. And he got in front of the player, and Alexander had to throw the ball. And now New Zealand have possession.
Party over the halfway mark. Still going. Got plenty of goal. In fact, it's Mifau. And Mifau goes in to score for the New Zealanders. Their second try. 8 points to 6 now in favour of New Zealand.
And Mifau certainly showed plenty of pace. Took the Penrith players on the outside. He beat Carter for speed. Fittler came across. Wasn't able to ankle tap Mifau, and Mifau was able to run a try in wide. Very impressive try right on the half-time.
Well, the attempt at conversion unsuccessful by Rogers. So at half-time, New Zealand lead Penrith by 8 points. Alexander getting us going now for the second half with Penrith trailing by 2 points. 8 points to 6.
Really a performance in that first half that both sides would like to forget, I'd imagine. Neither side was able to hold the ball past 4 tackles throughout that whole first half. If you're going to go anywhere in this sevens competition, that's not going to be good enough.
Dummy half is Barton. It's gone through Rogers and on to the centre Heston party. Brothers competing in this side. Now it's Rogers again. To the halfway, drew the defence nicely. Got the pass away for Davis. And now it's with Taufa. From Umaga, a dummy half, a long ball from Rogers, across through Party again, out wide, and this is Barton. Barton, he's chased by Mackay, got a ball inside, it's gone to ground. And referee McCallum will be obliged to put the scrum down.
Certainly like moving the ball around this New Zealand side, and once again got into a good attacking position, but the final pass, it's no crime to play the ball in this game, and that's what New Zealand have been guilty of, trying to keep the ball alive at all costs. Alexander to Mackay, over to Lyons, a groan from the crowd suggesting it was forward. Mackay now gets out from dummy half. Second tackle on this set of 6. Penrith trailing by 2. This is Walker. Cartwright. Straight over the top of the attempted tackle there by Umaga.
And away for Greg Alexander.
Final tackle for the Penrith side. Interesting to see what tactics they employ. A kick by Boyd, finds touch 10 metres out. Probably a nothing kick there, really. It's going to be a New Zealand feed and win. And with under 5 minutes left on the clock, probably not the ideal tactics for the Penrith side. I thought they'd go for the in-goal and try to keep the opposition there.
Now the New Zealanders come up with the feed. From being worked by Harley Davis. And he's found an opening. He's outside the 32 metres, but he was rounded up very quickly there by Graham Lyons. Rogers. This is Umaga, pulled down by Mackay. Party. Rogers again. Long ball away. Taufa now. Carter's got him hemmed in. Alexander's left to make the tackle. They're down, though, on the Penrith 22. They haven't used up too many tackles. Davis. Rogers. Not frightened to slow it down to their own pace. Set themselves for an attacking raid. Played by Davis. Rogers always trying to suck the defence into them before they pass. And at the same time consuming.
Yes, that's right. They're in front on the scoreboard. They do have Penrith at 6s and 7s to an extent. Kick rolled through by the New Zealand side, but cleaned up by Graham Lyons.
Penrith with their backs to the wall and very much their backs to their own goal line.
They're very disappointing, the support play in the Penrith side. I'm sure Phil Gould would have been looking for all players to stay alive. Once you play the football, you should not be out of play. You have to stay alive.
This is Boyd. Now Ben Alexander's on in jumper number 2. Brad Fittler with the big step off the left foot. Puts a hole in him. Greg Alexander, he's into a hole, he's into space. He's going all the way, Greg Alexander. Penrith, they lead now by 10 points to 8 with the conversion to come for this man, Greg Alexander.
Yes, and Greg Alexander in no hurry to put the football down. They're feeling the pinch out there, but they are in front. The great work there done by Brad Fittler, the big step off the left foot. Probably the New Zealanders don't know that step as well as Australians do, and he was able to turn. And in that case, he did have support in Greg Alexander. 50 metres under the posts. Alexander again in no hurry to put the ball down. He'll take the conversion attempt, and they'll go to a 4 points lead.
2.5 minutes of time remaining, and Penrith extend their lead now to 12 points to 8 over the visiting New Zealand side. Wainuiomata, they won the New Zealand 7's, the national tournament over there, to gain entry into the Nissan 7's. And Penrith now breathing a fraction easier. Taufa, bad pass.
A good decision there by the referee. The ball did come off the player's boot, and obviously no knock on from there. And this is a crucial set of 6. Really, they need to score here to have a chance to win this game, the New Zealand side.
David Lomax, wrapped up by Ben Alexander. And away from Barton for Rogers, inside for Davis, outside for Rogers, and further along the line for Umaga. Umaga coming back into the centre. And a tackle that had to be made was made eventually.
And I still think the player cruelled a 3-man overlap outside. He had to go wide, but turned back inside to the Penrith defence coming across in cover.
Mefowl. Just outside the quarter, Penrith's end of the group. Penrith with a 4 points cushion. They've got to keep this set of 6 at bay. Yogi Rogers puts it into the corner. Getting back there for it is Mackay.
Very silly kick. No chases on that one. He's missed the tackle there as well. That's given the game to the Penrith side as Graham Mackay nearly makes a bust up the centre.
Davis making the tackle on Mackay. McNamara. Now it's Fittler again. There's the big step again, in and away. He's into open territory now, Brad Fittler, and he's cruising down to the line. Fittler puts it down between the uprights, and Penrith leading by 16 points to 8 with about 50 seconds of the match remaining.
A scratchy performance by the Penrith side, but in the end they've been able to come up with a comfortable victory. A carbon copy of the last try, except Brad Fittler was able to do it all himself. Again, the big left foot step. The cover coming across wasn't quick enough, and he's been able to put the ball under the post. As I said, a scratchy start from the Penrith side, but that'll get the cobwebs out.
Ben Alexander coming up to take the conversion attempt of the try by Brad Fittler. And taking up plenty of time with the kick. But Penrith go to an 18 points to 8 lead as Ben Alexander brings up a further 2 points, and only a matter of seconds remaining for the New Zealand side to get play underway. Rogers does that, immediately kicks ahead. It's being chased by Mefau. He may well score here. Yes, he has. Well, a miraculous try by Mefau. It's all too late, though, for the New Zealand side. It brings some joy from the bench. But 18 points to 12, conversion attempt to come. And there it is. That's how simple it was. They caught Steve Carter standing too flat, really. Yeah. And Mefau it is that gets the 4 points.
Too much too late, Ray. I was a bit surprised that the coach went up in the air. His side's still going to get beaten. But a bit of enterprise there from the New Zealand side. Again, surprising that Penrith allowed it. They should have had a player back for that kick.
Centre conversion not successful. And the final score, Penrith defeating New Zealand by 18 points to 12.